What it is, motherfuckers? Yo, it's been a while, and I swear I'm getting really really close in the course. Um, I have been working with Claude a lot to create something that's really compelling. The folks at Gamma are going to help me make it look a little bit nicer than it is now, and I am going to have two versions. The first version is going to be the basic version that'll have all the content but none of the prompts. So you'll be able to understand my thinking, how I go about thinking about list building and messaging and targeting, etc. But today, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about a workflow that I think I'm going to put a form in front of to help you out. One of the things that I struggle with as a fractional go-to-market engineer is how to get people to understand what I do. Now, the folks that have bought the Agent 7 course, they get it. So the folks that come inbound are great because they understand the types of things that I do. They know my content, but the folks that don't really need to have some understanding about what's the sort of context of this go-to-market engineer role. What data? How does it work? So I'm going to walk you through how I'm going to try to make this easier, and I'm going to allow you to, if this is interesting to you. If it's not, great. I won't do the effort to make it easy. I'm going to have a form where you can put in the company that you're working with. All you have to put in is their domain and any additional context about them. And then it's going to run through this Clay workflow and give you a go-to-market engineer project plan. Here's all the things we're going to do. Here are the data sources. Here's what's changing the market. So I'm going to walk you through exactly kind of what this thing does. This will give you a good understanding about how I think about this sort of prompt process and why I think it's really important to give models the right context and the right framework. And I'm a really big believer over process over prompts. So this is going to go through that process. Let's dive in. All right, so I've ran this for just kind of a handful of companies here. And the first thing I do is I just scrape their website. So I use Zenrose here. And all it does is just provide a nice little blob of their website. So blah, 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 blah. Here's kind of just their website. You can see just a bunch of context. So really, I think pretty heavily about the context of these models. Then I built this super comprehensive ICP prompt, which is define their ideal customer profile. Then what I want to do is define their persona. So describe exactly everything that they target. These two things go and pull as many actual quotes as possible. I have some secret sauce here to provide those quotes. Then what I do is I want to have an understanding of what is their competitors. So this is all getting an understanding of what is their then market context. So I have all of this blob, and I strategically pass in some of these inputs into other of the next prompts. I don't do it for everyone. And then I say, great, give me the top niche data sources. And then what I had to do is, because this is so complex here, I had to split out the go-to-market engineer scope into two separate outputs here. And then I sort of combine them. I am using O1 Pro to put a bunch of I just pasted in. O1 Pro can export 100,000 tokens, which is kind of crazy because GPT can export 4,000, Claude can export 8,000, 100,000. So I'm going to put all this in a document for you so you can see sort of what that output looks like. But if you're interested in this, I'm using really expensive models here. I'm not trying to save money. I'm also not outsourcing the models to China. Homemade American pie. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. So if this is interesting to you, I'm going to give you a bunch of examples, and I'll put this behind a form so that you can, basically it's going to give you ideas about data sources, how to string together, what's the narrative, how you would run a go-to-market implementation plan for a go-to-market engineer, and it'll be basically $10 a pop. So if you want me to put the form, let me know. I'll put a little work into making that happen. If you will use this, if it's worth it to you, I think the output's going to be pretty great. And if anything, go ahead and comment on this post, and I will send you the full output of 10 different customers of what this looks like. Oh, GPT-4 Pro, it's like doing some things still. But I'll give you the full output, otherwise I'd post it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a beautiful Monday, January 27th. It's a little blueprint after dark. If you have any questions about, why don't you share about what you're thinking on, what are you chewing on? How are you thinking about this go-to-market engineer position? Have a beautiful day, and hope we see you in the next one.